Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Dojo Live recap show. It's Monday, December 14th, 2020. We are just a half month through the end of the year, if that made any sense.
We can tell it's the end
we,
of the year.
we could tell we're definitely at the end of the year because of that doesn't make any sense. Anyway, we're here to recap 4 shows from last week, and we're going to try to do it in 10 minutes. So we had 4 shows. First one we had was Remote Property Management in a COVID-19 World with Sue Ellen McFarlane of Leonardo 24/7. Then we spoke on Wednesday morning with the president and CEO of GT Medical Technology. We talked about gamma tile therapy, a head start in the fight against brain tumors. That was with Matthew Likens. And we also had on Wednesday afternoon conversation with Nick Jordan, who's the founder and CEO of Narrative. We talked about data streaming and the end of data broker model. And finally, on Thursday, we talked about innovation, driving advancements in oil and gas processing with John Saby, who's the CTO of ProCep. So a lot of great conversations. Liked every single one of those shows. Let's start with the first one. I thought the conversation with Sue Ellen was very interesting. Who wants to go first? I think you wanted to talk about that one.
Sure, thank you. I'll talk about Sue Ellen. Yeah, so a couple things jumped out at me of the show. For starters, Sue Ellen's entire career, which I think spanned 7 or 8 years, a significant amount of time with Leonardo 24/7, has been remote. So she was able to kind of just take this whole year in stride, which was pretty fantastic. The product that they offer as well, the property management tool that they utilize. Apparently, I mean, it's been a great year for them, and they've been able to actually really help their clients with a product that already existed, since everything kind of had to go remote and figuring out new ways to take care of property at a distance, and it just sort of was seamless for them. So congratulations for that. I think that was really spectacular. And I also really enjoyed the story just about the naming of the company itself, how it's based with Leonardo da Vinci and his creativity, and how it's able to really make things personal. And the product even gets shortened by them and their clients to Leo, which I thought was really great. I think that's something that really talks to the UX and UI and just the company itself. So I think it was great and fantastic to see how a company's product could really just be so useful in transition times like 2020.
Big ideas are always simple. So if you're in the real estate business, you definitely want to check out that show with Sue Ellen. What else came up for you guys?
Hey, Kim, I just wanted to say that I love the way that you turned this whole chaos into an euphemism by saying this transition time. To me, that's an euphemism, but okay, I'll give you that. I'll grant you that.
Okay. Which one did you like, Carlos?
Well, in my case, Leo, this is because I've had very nice conversations outside of the DojoLIVE context with John Saby, the CTO of ProCep. And I like the fact that he is, how can I say this? His role as a CTO at the company, ProCep, is not necessarily linked to the software world. He's into a different type of technology, but I've really liked the idea that John, because he's I think he's from a generation that started this whole his professional career before the boom of into the internet and all that. I just love the way that this company and his personal stance regarding technology was that of openness, of embracing new things, embracing data, and then they are even at a stage in which they are even finding ways to analyze data in a way that there's going to be a seamless integration between the restoration initiatives that they have at ProCep and technologies versus the software side or the engineering, the software engineering side. So I like that blending of generations, let's call it that, or uh, the way that they're, like I said, they're implementing software tools to make sure that all the data that is being generated is put to a good use in order to enhance the restoration initiatives that they have. So that's what definitely pulled my attention from this particular one. Not to mention the fact that John is a really, really awesome guy and very fun to be with and talk to. So, but yeah, so that's
Yeah.
what I can tell you, Julio.
Absolutely. If you've missed that, you definitely want to check that out. And it just goes to show, especially for the younger viewers, that technology also includes innovation in chemical engineering, electrical engineering, and mechanical engineering. So it doesn't all just have to be code.
Everywhere.
It can be any one of those fields. All right, so I'll take on talking about gamma tile therapy. I thought that was really interesting on Wednesday morning with Matthew Likens, who's the president and CEO of GT Medical Technologies. These guys have done something truly disruptive to how you deal with brain tumors. It's an insidious disease and problem that often requires chemotherapy, which ends up people losing their hair, not to mention all kinds of other challenges and problems that come from trying to extend someone's life. I mean, someone's got a brain tumor, they pretty much have sadly a death sentence. So the chemotherapy extends people's life. Now, what gamma tile therapy is they actually put these little seeds around the specific areas where they've operated the tumor, so that the therapy, the chemotherapy, the radiation therapy, these are radiation-based seeds, can actually be localized. And by it being localized, it reduces the side effect impact of things like chemotherapy. So it was interesting on health tech, how they've used technology to innovate, to come up with better ways to serve the needs of people who suffer from these terrible brain tumors. Apparently, almost 200,000 people every year get them. So that was that show. And then finally, we talked with Nick Jordan, A Narrative. It was an interesting evolution on how companies buy data, especially consumer data or any kind of data, really. And they've basically removed the need of a broker. They've created a platform where buyers and sellers can talk to each other, can communicate what they need, and they can seamlessly gain access to the specific kinds of information, even down to the line level. So I can buy data from multiple sources and get specific with what I want that can make it actionable and executable, versus having to go to someone who would broker and make that deal happen. Very archaic approach to how that used to happen. They've essentially automated the whole process and giving the power back to both the sellers and buyers. Okay, so we've got like a minute left, and we have 2 shows this week, right, Carlos? And then we're done for the rest of the year. We'll be back in January at 12 p.m. The 1 p.m. show will be at 12 p.m. Pacific. So what do we got coming up this week, Carlos?
Absolutely, Tulio. This week tomorrow we'll be speaking with Raji Kalra, the CEO and co-founder of PeopleTale, an e-commerce platform, on the topic of the future of retail through people-to-people shopping. That's tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific. And then on Thursday, we'll be speaking with Ryan Jones, the product lead and manager at VMware, and the topic will be determine a valuable product without building one. So that's on Thursday at 1 p.m. Pacific. We don't have a show on Wednesday, but I think this is going to be more than enough to wrap up the year. This is going to be a great wrap up of the year, and I look forward to these conversations as well.
See you guys back tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific. Stay safe.